Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a War Machine battle report at 50 points, and it's going to be my Kallus up against Butcher3. Now, Butcher3, I have a little bit of a vendetta against. I faced him for the first time in the last steamroller I went to, and basically I was noob stomped. He just came across the board and killed me. So I'm a little bit wiser this time, and I'm really hoping that my Kallus, who I should probably finish painting, is going to be able to take him on via Dude Swarm because he can kill lots of guys, but I got lots and lots of guys. But we'll see what happens. Either way, he's already winning the style test where he looks quite a bit better than Mike Kallus. All right, so looking here at his main lines, he doesn't really have, crazy tons of models. He has some Doom Reavers. He has the Iron Fang Pikeman with the UA, the Iron Fang Kovnik. He has a Great Bears there. He is also going to have the Madam in the back, Carvolo or whatever. He has Ogre and Bokur. Of course, he comes with his little Argus buddies, and he's going to have Epic Iris on the left. He also has Ragman. And then over here, he has some Widowmakers, and he also has the Kodiak. For my side, starting off here on the one flank, I have the Archers plus UA, Max Grotesques, Max Swordsmen. They have their UA. I have the Striders, and okay, I'm supposed to have a Death Stalker in the front. I seem to have misplaced it, so I'm using Lilith. She got a little bit of a drop in pay there, I think. But either way, Kallus is only running a Bolt Thrower. Everything else is going into dudes. But I also have the Max Legionnaires. And on the far other flank, I have the Max Hex Hunters. So looking at this, you can definitely see I have a lot more models than he does. But the scenario here is the first one of 5 points. You can actually dominate and move the flags that can actually act as war casters to dominate and stuff like that. But you get 1 for dominating the close zone, 1 for controlling the far one, 2 for dominating, and then 1 for destroying the other objective. So the main game plan that I have here is I know he has a big time threat, but I love the idea that he has his house here that's going to be in his way. I am planning just to move up to really being a little bit more defensive on the left zone. Given all his Iron Fang pikemen, I don't think that's where I'm going to be scoring. I think I'm going to be scoring on the right side. So it's really just pushing up, putting on the pressure, putting up the feet so that he really can't do that much damage to me, and then starting to score. And really, this is exactly what I need to beat Butcher3, because I'm not going to beat him with a caster kill. I don't see that happening. So really, whatever side he goes for, I'm going to be looking to try and score, dominate on the other zone. So that's the plan, and he gave me first turn, so let's see what happens. Really on my turn, I'm just really rushing on up as fast as I can, except for the archers. They kind of went off more to the side. But yeah, I basically have Ignite up onto the Grotesques, and that's really it for my first turn. His turn, no spells, nothing fancy like that, other than the Kodiak venting steam to get a little bit better defense there. But he kind of surprises me where he probably sees that his Doom Reavers will be in a little bit of trouble with all my shooting on the left. So they crisscross to the middle. Now, one of the things you have to worry about with Butcher3 is that on his feet, you automatically fail command tests. So he can basically go up, pop feet, the Doom Reavers can run into you, and you'll automatically fail. The nice thing is that my central line is completely immune to it because Legionnaires, Grotesques, and Swordmen are all fearless. I'll have to worry about that on the flanks, but to try and mitigate that, I'm really going to try and just kind of kill off his Doom Reavers this turn. I'll probably have to sacrifice my Striders, but hey, it'll be worth it in the long run. So unfortunately, I have a real fail of a turn. Basically, I just pull off the Fury from the Bolt Thrower, upkeep the Ignite, and what I start doing first is I go up with my Death Stalker. She has Snipe, so if I shoot one of those Iron Fang pikemen, I can just do 1 point of damage, and they're dead. And I can kill the guys in the middle, take away their shield wall. Good news, right? Well, I take my first shot, and I miss. Of course, whatever. All right, so the next thing I do then is I bring up the Striders. They're going to start shooting up the Doom Reavers. And I miss like almost every single shot. So after at that point, I'm starting to really not like it. I decide then that I'm going to make this my feet turn, so I get a little bit more aggressive, not crazy aggressive. I mean, the archers on the left, had I killed a few with the Deathstalker, would have killed at least those three that are in the zone. But because of him not being there, I just put down some suppression fire there just to kind of keep him back. And then otherwise, you can see that the Hex Hunters are flanking on the right. Now, as soon as I did this, I felt kind of dumb because one, I didn't put anything in the zone on the right, so he can dominate and take a point, but at the same time, I don't think he'll be winning the scenario game anyway, so that's not so bad. But the main thing is, why did I feat this turn? Because really, I'm really doing this just saying, go ahead, kill those guys in the front, and then I can hit you back. He's not really in a position to kill a whole lot. I mean, he could dedicate Butcher and do a ton of damage on my left side here, but it really wouldn't be worth it with all the counter charges and stuff he'd take. So really should not have feated this turn. All right, on his turn, he comes in here, and there's an interesting interaction here where he wants to berserk and kill a bunch of my guys, but the second I'm disabled is when I turn to Incubi. So he doesn't actually destroy me. He doesn't get berserk attacks. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm defense 15. I think he was hitting on 8s, but hey, it was just something interesting here. And otherwise, his turn looks like this. And I mean, like I said, he didn't get too much done because we were pretty good for range and stuff. He comes in, he basically kills the two incubi he made on the left side. I believe he's able to... No, I think that's all he killed. He tried attacking me on the right side. He killed one of my legionnaires, turned into an incubi. So with that interaction, I'm also not getting vengeance. But yeah, you can see here that my feat really wasn't worth it. But at least now I should be in an okay spot to try and countercharge. But the problem here is that my striders are kind of in the way, and I'd rather be attacking him with something a little bit more important. But yeah, it is what it is. So on my turn, what I basically do is I start trying to kill off those Doom Reavers to make room for my Grotesques. Again, even with Dark Guidance, I was rolling garbage. So I was only able to kill one of them. Then, I go in with the Grotesque. They kill a good number, almost half of the Iron Fang. So that's really good. Swing around with the Archers. Some of them were able to combine and kill the Iron Fang Kovnik. I was also able to have a few of them put up a smaller suppression fire here. So that's looking pretty good. So yeah, lots of guys there. I think I'll be able to grind him down. I aimed and took a shot at Butcher with the Deathstalker just to do 1 point. I missed, whatever. On the right side, I went and I was able to kill the other Doom Reaver. That opened up the Incubi to charge his Bokur, which I missed my attack because I actually did that before I did my Dark Guidance because I'm a derp. I was also able to last turn shoot down the banner, which was whatever, didn't really need it, but hey, every model he has that isn't contesting is a good thing. And then what he had done last turn is basically just put in the objective to dominate the other zone and the other Kodiak. So clearly he is not going to be pressuring the right zone. I have to do the pressure. So what I do is I'm just basically throwing the Legionnaires into his face, and then the Hex Hunters, one of them runs to tie up the Great Bears. All the other ones are kind of moving up to counter. And yeah, just looking forward to next turn, probably being able to control the right zone, destroy the flag or his objective, and start scoring some good points. Because, I mean, Kallus can run over there. I can dominate for 2, probably destroy the flag for another 1, and really put the pressure on. But it really depends where Butcher goes. So his turn 3, first thing he does is he starts taking away all of his Iron Fang here, taking free strikes and just dying. He also charges in and kills one with the dog and sprints away to make a path for Butcher to come through. And the only reason why Butcher is there is because Madame Corvo is able to use her power to move him over. Wasn't too worried about this. He still has a lot of stuff to go through. He then comes in here and he flashing blades and kills all of these guys. Now, if he tries to pull me in, it's not going to work because I positioned myself so that if he did this, I would hit the objective. So I'm pretty good and safe. He could pull in my one beast and kill him, but I'm not worried about that too much. But what he does is he then uses the Energizer to move another 3 inches down, which now makes it so I'm not hitting the objective anymore. Pulls all this stuff into him. Does a flashing blade and feet. And after everything's said and done, he kills the beast. He kills Kallus. And yeah, there you go. Butcher 3 won on turn 3. So, I gotta say, it was almost like the first time I faced Butcher 3 that at the end of the game, I was just left in shock. Normally when I finish a game, I'm joking, I'm talking about, things that could have been, we're talking about possible tactics and stuff, like things we could have done differently. But I was just almost as left in this state of just like, I couldn't believe I died. I mean, if I go back and I look at that other picture, I am on the other side of the house. I have dudes everywhere. I have, even some things that like in the way between the objective and my beast. And yeah, he is still able to pull it off and kill my guy. So I couldn't really believe it. I guess the grudge continues against Butcher 3. I know something that somebody else had said is that I don't have enough beasts in my army, and I mean, if I would have had more, I could have had some transfers. But you know what? You don't really get a lot of transfers here anyway, because I mean, you cast Dark Guidance, you upkeep Ignite. I don't think that would have saved me at all. I think really the only way I could have saved myself is that even though I had all those dudes and I was on the other side of the house, I just need to still be like another 5 inches away, like closer to the back edge of the board, because that's the thing with this Butcher 3. With between all the stuff he can do, is that he's almost like the Assassination Whisperer. That between all of his different abilities, he can just get that assassination off. It reminds me a lot of actually Gatsby 2, where you almost have to be thinking about 50 different ways you can die because they have the abilities to make these things happen. So there you have it. Didn't do as well as I'd hoped. Thought hopefully you guys like watching it. Okay, bye.